Hello everyone, it's been 2.5 months since my third prolo treatment with Dr. Fullerton, and had some revelations, and I thought I'd share them with everybody. First off, I forget that I'm still healing. I have the 2 weeks where I can't do any real physical activity, 2 weeks where I can walk on a treadmill, and then I can exercise like I normally do after that. I always think that once I'm starting to exercise, that's as good as it gets. And I keep forgetting for some reason that I typically experience an improvement in situation around the 2.5 month mark, and that's where we're at. And one day I woke up and suddenly a lot of the pain that I was having around here just disappeared. So that was really cool. I'm still having some discomfort. There's the pain that I'm having is right about here. So I'm thinking that's the spinal erector and also maybe the QL where it like inserts into the rib cage somewhere around there. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure Dr. Fullerton will find it. But that's really about it. I know my infraspinatus is tight, but it could be that it's tight because the other muscles are tight. I feel a lot better. I know last time I was talking about how I was worried that infraspinatus was tight because of the damage in my shoulder joint, and that it was tight to try and keep it in place. But it would be a little weird that only my one set of muscles was tight to try to protect the joint, and as opposed to all the muscles that encapsulate the shoulder. So I'm feeling better because I was really upset, and hopefully, always hopefully, I am going to see Dr. Fullerton for the last time concerning my back area. And I'm also excited because this will be the first time that I'm going to have him address the issues with my right hip. He took a look at it and he said that there was a little bit last time. Didn't work on it, but he used ultrasound to look at it, and he noticed some ligament damage. And so it'll be interesting to see what he says. There's a stretch. Bear with me now. There's a stretch that I can do really easily on one side of my leg, but not on the other. And trying this for the first time, so bear with me. With the camera, I can do this fairly easily. Actually, no. I can do it about, with my leg actually straight, this is about as far as it goes, and then the groin is so tight that I can't really do anything. But if I go, see, I can sit back a lot more. My feet are pretty much touching the ground, and when I try to do it here, it's about this far, and it really hurts my groin on this side, and when I'm doing it here, it's completely relaxed. So when I visited my dry needle guy, I asked him, his thoughts on the matter. He said that I've had this hip pathology for years, and my body's adapted to it, and I'm probably just stuck that way. Couple things. One, he didn't really check it out. Two, if I were to just listen to what he said, I would just give up and not try and, become symmetrical with that stretch. And it really upsets me, actually, that somebody who has a fiduciary duty, a medical, expert, would tell me something so conclusive as that's just the way you are, as opposed to I don't know how to fix that, or I can't fix it as it is. Um, it just really bothers me because I'm willing to bet, $10 that after I see Dr. Fullerton that I'll be able to do the stretch on both sides. And it's not, an adaptation. It just bothers me because doctors do this all the time. They have done this all the time with me. In that they'll tell me one thing and they think it's true, but they actually don't really know anything about it, and it turns out that they were completely wrong. I saw one orthopedic guy and he said, I didn't have a tear in my labrum. And then I saw a doctor of osteopath who said, yeah, it's probably a tear. And then I saw another doctor and he's like, yeah, it is definitely a tear. So I don't know, what to make of that. I've been told I saw a DO. It was covered by my insurance. And it turns out she did internal medicine and not manipulation, which is what I was looking for. I was looking for a doctor of osteopath that did manipulation. And when I told her that, she was like, "Oh, well, no DOs do manipulation anymore. You're not going to find many in this area." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I stopped looking, and then the pain got worse and worse, and then I eventually searched again, and lo and behold, there were quite a few doctor of osteopaths in the area that did manipulation, and the treatment proved very helpful. So, I mean, I had another doctor diagnose me as having a sports hernia, and I mentioned that I've had issues with my pectineus, and he was like, "Well, whoever told you that I told the orthopedic doctor that another doctor, a chiropractor, found out that I had a really tight pectineus, and he's like, "Oh, well, that person's just making it up." And then later I saw a massage therapist, and I said, I'm kind of tight right here, and he was like, "Yeah, your pectineus is really screwed up right now." And lo and behold, the chiropractor knew what he was talking about, knew what she was talking about. Sorry about that. And so throughout my journey, I've just come across all these people who feel free to talk about what they don't know with authority, and that's just always bothered me. So I guess my whole point is that take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. I mean, it might be true, but never settle for one opinion. Always get a second, maybe even a third opinion, and don't see all the same kind of one doctor, because all orthopedic doctors are going to recommend surgery, and all chiropractors are going to recommend chiropractic treatment. Massage therapy, a rolfer. You got to take a look at these things through different lenses, and you get the information from each perspective, and you get this grand theory of what's wrong with you. At least that's how it's been with me. It hasn't been clear cut, and the more I talk to people with similar issues, I think it's more common to have these real vague, hard to describe diagnosis or problems. So I'm super happy to have found Dr. Fullerton. His ultrasound prowess seems very comprehensive and complete, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do for me regarding my right hip. I'm like 90% there. I don't even really think about my hip as much as I do, my back. So I'm glad that he's been addressing my back first. So probably my next video will be maybe the day before I see Dr. Fullerton. Might not be. Might be the day of. Until then, if you have any questions, just mention in the comments. I will be happy to answer them. And if you like the video, I appreciate it. Until next time.